Welcome back to Juggling Gym, where my goal is to help you learn how to juggle and have fun doing it. Today, I'm going to show you how to do tennis ball and can juggling tricks. I'd recommend that you get this brand, Dunlop, of tennis balls because the end of it is hollow, which means that it's easier to catch juggling balls for certain tricks. I won't show you any of those catching tricks today because they're a little bit harder, and today is just going to be like an intro to tennis and can tricks, but I'll probably show you that in the future. Some people like to put sand inside the tennis balls to make them easier to juggle, but personally I just get them straight out of the can and then I'm ready to go. The first trick I'm going to show you is a cool way to get the balls out of the tennis can. I have 2 tennis balls in here because all the tricks for today are going to involve 2 tennis balls in 1 can. I'm going to put my thumb underneath the first tennis ball. Then when I lift my hand up, the first tennis ball is going to move, but the second ball can't move because it's blocked by my thumb. Like that. The trick is to get the right amount of pressure. If you press too hard, then you won't be able to get the first ball out. But if you don't press enough, then both balls will come out at the same time. This leads really nicely to the second juggling trick, where you juggle 2 balls in one hand and then you throw them back inside the can. First you release them like I just talked about, then you start juggling 2 balls in one hand, and then I'm just going to throw both of them high and I'm going to catch them with my left hand. If you're having trouble transitioning from the can to doing 2 balls in one hand, first just practice doing 1 throw, pausing, and then doing the second throw, like that. And then as you get better, you can do it faster. One other thing I meant to say is that after you throw the first ball, make sure that you release your thumb, and then you just throw the second ball like normal. The next trick is pretty similar. I'm going to juggle 2 balls in one hand, then I'm going to throw both into the can, and I'm going to throw 1 under my leg. So, I throw 1 ball high, and then as I'm throwing that ball high, I start moving to do the under the leg throw. You can also practice by doing this slow. So just throw 1 up, and then do the under the leg throw, and then you start doing it faster and faster. Also, if you have questions about how to juggle 2 balls in one hand, or any of the other tricks I'm covering today, I have tutorials for them with regular juggling balls, and I'll put links to all these in the description. And stay tuned, because at the end of the video, I'm going to do a routine putting all these tricks together. The next trick is the cascade. Also, as a pro tip, it's always nice if you end your tennis and can tricks like that. It's not that hard to do, and it's just like a nice touch at the end. You want to juggle the can like a juggling club, so it should spin once and then land in the same area that you threw it from. Even if you can't juggle clubs, you can still do tennis and can tricks. Just really work on making it spin once and then go back into the other hand. Of course, the tricky part is that this was not made for juggling. It's too short, and it's also just not weighted like a normal juggling club is. So as a quick reminder, your wrist determines how fast the club spins, or the can spins in this case, and then your arm determines how high it goes. So it's really just about finding the right balance between your wrist movement and your arm movement. Also, some people like to put a ball inside the can to make it heavier and easier to juggle, but I always have trouble keeping the ball inside the can when I throw it. Once you can do the throw with the can, you're pretty much ready to go into the cascade. So start with 2 balls in one hand, the can in the other, throw 1 ball, 1 can, and then you're into a regular cascade. And that's another secret tip I've discovered. When you mess up and catch the can at a weird angle, just flip it so that you can catch the other tennis ball, and then it looks like you ended on purpose, but really you messed up and the pattern was falling apart. All right, here's a longer run. Next up is juggler's tennis with regular tennis balls. So basically it's the same as the regular version. You're just gonna pick one of the balls to be the over-the-top throw, and then the can and the other ball are just gonna be regular. And make sure to juggle the can and the other ball lower to avoid collisions. The next trick is like a pseudo cascade. So it's not a real cascade because there's only 2 balls, and I'm using the can basically as a hand instead, but I think it still looks nice. The first step is to just practice catching the ball. I catch it with the can pointed slightly inwards like this. And to get the ball out of the can, you just kind of push your arm like that. And then from there, you just do the 2 ball exchange, but use the can as one of your hands. Now I'm going to show you how to do 4-2-3 with tennis balls and a can. The only thing you need to do is practice throwing the can straight up and catching it. And you can see it's a little windy, which makes it tricky to do tennis ball and can tricks, but let's try. I'm throwing it a little bit higher than I do for a cascade. So I'm just getting used to that motion. I'm using a little bit more arm and about the same amount of wrist to throw it higher. Of course, after 4-2-3, you can learn columns, which is always a crowd favorite. First, practice doing the simultaneous throws, and then move on to the 3-ball version. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to the channel. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can form an official YouTube community. And with an official YouTube community, I can create polls, and that way I can make the content you most want to see. Keep juggling and have fun.